I think this is a general problem I encountered. Sometimes I was not sure entering commodities or so if you should, or if we should use singular or plural.
Yes, I had this conversation.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, I have this conversation with Carlos. I tried to sort of write down. There is kind of a pattern that you could see, but it's mostly based on how it appears on in the source. I think a lot of times it appears in plural. So how can we find that out? For example, right? Which ones are plural? Which commodities are plural? How would we run this search? So we are in commodities. Yes. So first part, we're already there, right? Commodities.
Fine.
Okay. Okay. Polvos would be one. Yeah. So it would give us, let's see, what happens if we write polvos? We have 36 polvos, right?
Yeah.
But how would we? This one would not show up as that. Let's add, okay, so we're gonna do something, another search that you can run, right? And we've looked at constraining sources. Now we're gonna look at how to expand a source, a search, right? So we have polvos are already the plurals. Okay. Let's then, since most of these are in Spanish, the indicator for plural in Spanish is right. So we want to write any search, right, that has an S at the end. Okay. What could we do here? So one way to do it is 0 or more characters, right? Then followed by an S. Okay. So we do this here. I think that should work. And then we go to requests, and instead of perform find or constrain, we go to extend found set. So this gives us 1,064 that end in S. I think. Okay, so I usually use plural, I think, for goods. Let's look, how do we look at the ones that are not plural? Right, go to the little circle. So aceite de ladrillo, why not aceite de ladrillos? I assume it appears more commonly as aceite de ladrillo. I think that it very much has to do with, let's look at ones that are not medicine. How would we exclude medicine? So we're going to refine, right? This is the refining, and we don't want medicine. We want to look at cargo. Oops. So you would go to find. And so now we have all the ones, first polvos, then everything that ends in an S, right? And now, but a lot of this like includes all the medicines. And we just want to see like, what do you do if you encounter like a cloth or something? Is it a plural or is it singular? What have you been using? So what I would do to refine this is, you go to type, and one way to do it is, another way to do a search is if you want exactly that word, right, is to do 2 times the equal sign and then write cargo. So Doing a search like this, if we refine now, will exclude cargo medicine, cargo botanica. It will only show the ones that are cargo, right? So request constraint found set. So cha, comino, harina de trigo, tabaco, sangre de trigo. I think that the plural has to do with how it's written in the source.
Yeah. But for example,
Let's look for the textiles. So I'm going to refine this to textiles, right? Categoría. I think, let's see. So this one is not giving me an option, right? It's not, it doesn't have a pull down menu for some reason. This is a very useful, if I want to see every value that has been entered in that field, how do I do it? This is perhaps one of the most useful tools in FileMaker. It uses the command, and then another key, command I. And that command I will show you every single way in which that, and you can just search, right? So let's look at textiles. And now we want request constraint found set. So 237 textiles are in singular.
I have one plural, pañitos de polvo.
Right. So let's look at the ones that are textiles. And have an S. So this is another thing that you can do. Instead of constraining, you can have multiple requirements or multiple things in this query, right? So here textiles that end in S. Manta, manta. Sayas, sayas. I think I based it. Anything that is in the category lienzos is always with an S. In the category kerchiefs, the pañitos are also with S. But anything that is manta is in singular. Yeah, maybe I should write this down more, but yeah. Something that I've just added, since we're looking at the commodities. There's this whole issue of how we classify things. And I've discovered that there's actually this thesaurus that's run by the Getty Institute that includes almost anything. And it's actually very useful because we can actually say, hey, we have a product, we have a commodity that is not in your dictionary. So right now, I think I've only added it. This is what is called the ATT number. So how do I find out which of these entries already have an ATT number? First of all, I'm going to clear the search, right? So I'm going to press here on show all, right? And that clears any search. So if I want to find something that has something in this entry, how would I query this? Yes. So find, asterisk, perform find. And I think right now I've only done it for cacao, right? And then you click on this. And it'll take you to this dictionary, which in this case does not have a lot of names. View, zoom in. But I think this can also be very useful to Carlos as well.
Yeah.
Now let's see. New search. Let's look at one of the textiles, right? find term of ID. Let's look for chints, which we have as chitas. You do the search. And here it gives you all the terms and all the languages, sources and contributions, Chinese, you know. They've already done all this work that we haven't had a chance to do. But certain things don't exist, right? What other searches? Like for example, Angela's balsam, right? All of these things come up with balsam. It's just, I just discovered it and I think it can be very useful. Hopefully, maybe there's a way to query it through an API so that we don't need to look for each number ourselves. But I think it's a way to give order to this with people who have already created these taxonomies. So this would be something new to add. I will add this to the table. Find ways of using ATT, right? Okay. So let's update this. How many medicines, botanica, how many things that are medicine or botanica do we have? And this will be useful. I will actually show you how to run. I'm going to go to the table for this. Commodities table. So here you have cacao, right? I want to run a search. Sometimes the searches are just better run in the tables. It has more visibility. So I want to run everything that has either botanica or medicine in the type. One thing I can do is, since I'm running a complex search, right? I write first botanica. And then you see here, it says new request. This creates a second table. I mean, a second row. So here I write medicine. And so in a single search, you will search both things, right? And here we have botanica medicine is 761 entries. You can see that here at top. So botanica medicine, we can update 761.